learning the platform. This is Kiran myself. I hope you all met me during the demo session. If not, let me give a brief description about me. This is Kiran. I have 14 years of industry experience. And once I reach the highest point, then it comes into my mind what is my passion. I just started searching myself where is my passion. And I identified myself meeting young champs and young people, young coders like you is my passion. So I settled now into this training field. And I'm very glad and thankful to Mrs. Anuradha ma'am and Mr. Rajkumar Garu and HR Monica Garu, academic head Anjani ma'am and Uday and all supporting team of Blackbucks for giving this wonderful opportunity. Students, let's start our learning part. Okay. So here, if you see the moment why I asked you to type in the chat window your academic year, which year you're. So I have seen couple of responses like a few students are in fourth year, few students are in third year, second year, and here couple of mix and match of groups are there. So sometimes if we feel, because as we have here mix of branches and all, sometimes we may go little slow. And once the basic concepts are done, 100% we will go practical oriented into complete application based. So especially I'm requesting those who are fourth year students, you might be have little of experience on SQL and you might be known the basic queries and all. Please hold on for us. It is every point what we are discussing during the class. It is complete application based oriented. So where, as we said in the master class, that is in the demo class, this session's 30 hours will completely drive you through a practical application integration requirement for industry requirements. That promise we can give you. Okay. So week schedules, day schedules, everything you will get continuous updates. And right now in the chat window, those who missed out, scroll to the app. There is a communication telegram channel given for us. Someone from team, can you please repost it in the chat window so that if anyone miss, immediately they can join. You may get it out if it is online session. How can I reach out? Right? So there is a platform given for us Telegram group. What all of the requirements, prerequisites, or any notes or any assignments, we will be 100% in touch with you. Time to time, team will get back to you. Don't worry about that. Okay. So I have a habit of every time to start my sessions with a small motivational story. Don't mind, this is not a motivational session, 100% it is SQL session only, but would like to start my session with a pencil story. So can I see some reactions from you because it is online session? Every time I keep on ask you to show reactions or type something in the chat window. Please be tuned. The first prerequisite is next time whenever you are coming to the class, make it sure you are not logging through mobile. Even though if you are logging through mobile, make it sure you are doing practice either in a desktop or in a laptop, and 100% requesting you maintain a notebook and pen also. So these are all the prerequisites for our sessions. And end of the day, you may not feel 30 hours of session. If I want to revision, there are no documents. Yes, I can give it a single click the PDF document to you. And you know, my dears, very well, every day in WhatsApp group from colleges, how many PDFs we will get, and we never open and see. Okay, Shahid, thanks for the confirmation. I will try to speak little slow. Am I audible now? Yeah, fine. So these are the prerequisites. Let's start my session with a simple pencil story. Once upon a time, there is a pencil maker who designed a pencil with all love, care, and affection. So once he designed the pencil, he is giving that pencil into the world. Before letting it giving into the world, the pencil maker talking with the pencil. My dear pencil, please remember few important things before I am giving into you the real world. The first thing, you should be under someone's guidance if you want to become a good pencil. You should be under someone's hold, then only you will become a good pencil. And the second thing, the pencil maker told, my dear pencil, for time being, you will be get a painful sharpenings, but this is only to make you a good pencil in the world. And the third thing the pencil maker told, My dear pencil, for time being, you will be get a painful sharpenings, but this is only to make you a best pencil in the world. And last but not the least, the pencil maker told to the pencil, whatever might be the situation, your prime duty is continue to write. So these are the four important things the pencil maker told to the pencil before he was giving it into the world. Now, my dear students, let's assume for 1 minute in the place of pencil yourself. Can someone tell me what is the first thing the pencil maker told? You can unmute yourself also. What is the first thing the pencil maker told to the pencil? I would like to see fastest fingers be active in this session. Yeah, yes. You should be under someone's hold. That is very clear. We should under someone's guidance. It might be your lecturers, it might be your parents, it might be your friends, elders, trainers like us. We should under someone's guidance to become a best pencil that is become a good citizen or a good student. Thank you so much. Something roll number 316 for confirmation. And can you tell me what is the second thing the pencil maker told? Sudesh. Hi, Sudesh. I'll try to remember your name. If possible, change the name, roll number, add the name also. What is the second thing the pencil maker told? I'm waiting for the response. Can someone quickly? Yeah, sharpenings. Yes, Likita, 100%. We need to bear the sharpens. What are these sharpens? These online sessions, assignments, exams, interviews. All these are only to make you a good and an excellent citizen or a person, right? And what is the third thing the pencil maker told? We need to bear the painful sharpenings. And what is the third thing the pencil maker told? Quick responses. This clearly shows me your listening skills and your attention. Someone help me with the third thing the pencil maker told. I know you all are very fast in chatting. I have here 46 members. Is someone going to help me? If you are in the place of a pencil, what is the third thing the pencil maker told? The prime duty. The prime duty of pencil is continue to write. But yes, Akash, thank you so much. Writing of the notes. It's not writing. The prime duty of pencil is writing, continue to writing. And what is our prime duty? Whatever might be the situation. Now you are into with the aim to get the job and you need to fulfill your dreams. So you need to continue practice. Your prime duty is continue to learn now. Your prime duties may change according to your age and according to your priorities. But now our prime duty is continue to learn. And what is the last thing the pencil maker told? The fourth one? Okay, let me conclude. We may commit mistakes, but we have the ability to correct our mistakes. Being a human beings, we have that ability to do it. So, my dear students, those who all are here, please always remember you should be under someone's guidance. And here we are taking the responsibility to make you lead you through the industry requirements. And of course, for sharpening painful things like assignments, we may ask you to do exercises, submit the exams, or something and all. These are only to make you perfect in that, and this is not one day session or 1 hour session. You need continuous practice for this. And please remember your prime duty is continue to learn. Let's start our session today. Okay, let me quickly go through the session. So today we are starting with the SQL. I know fourth year students, you have little of knowledge, but I promise you every point, whatever I'm discussing here will sure help you for the interview pattern or something. Okay. So the first and foremost, whenever I'm talking SQL or database or something, the first thing we need to come into mind is data, right? I'm sharing my screen and someone very quickly confirm, can you able to see my screen? I just need to see some reactions because in chat window when I'm sharing, I may not able to see. Great. Thank you so much for the fast response. So now the first and foremost question, and I prefer generally students make a note of running notes. Of course, I'll be sharing the class material once it is done, but it is very good habit when you make a point of it. If I'm drawing something diagram or pictorial representation, I prefer you please take out those diagrams also. Okay. So now when I'm talking about the data, I'm not asking you a data definition because in interview, I'm not expecting from a fourth year student to explain what is data. Now, when I talk about the data, it is a raw fact. It is a raw fact. So, what is this raw fact? Describing the attributes. This is the important word I want to know. Attributes of an entity. So when I'm talking about a data, I need raw facts, which is talking about the attributes of an entity. Now let's see what is this entity. Why should I know the attributes and all? Now you want to become a full stack developer or a front end developer or a back end developer, or your aim is something like a coder or something. Now usually generally whenever we want to log in into any application, the first and foremost thing it will be asking you to create an account or like a sign in page or sign up page. So, being a developer, when you are developing an application, you might be using the front end development like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, React, whatever it is, etc. Okay. Now, I have a application where it is asking to sign in with my first name, surname, mobile number, and generating a password, asking for a birthday, a date column for birthday, which is asking month, date, year, and month. And then it is asking for gender, some application, right? Why I'm learning SQL? In the masterclass, we understand. We are learning SQL to make it how in real applications we are using. Now I'm talking about the data. This data is a raw fact. What is this raw fact? When I'm working with an application, here if you see, when I'm creating an account for myself, here it is talking about some attributes. So what are the attributes here I need? Like a column called first name. And then one more attribute we have like surname. One more attribute I have like phone number. And one is like password. And I may have like date of birth, and I have gender. So something my application is asking for attributes and for this entity of front end page, right? So now if this data is nothing but these are the attributes. This is a raw facts where my first name is Kiran, my surname is G, phone number is so and so, password is this, date of birth is this, gender is female. So my application, that is this entity, is talking about the attributes which all are the raw facts. So this is my data. What makes the difference to crack the highest packages in interviews? When I ask you the definition for data in face-to-face conversation, if you are saying a definition, data is a raw facts or something, yes, it might be for 3 lakhs package. But when I'm giving more sophisticated with example, it may be lead you to 5 lakhs. And what makes the difference of this 9 lakhs packages and above and all? Yes, this is the representation. When you are talking with the real-time scenarios, what is data? Now I'm saying I'm not giving the definition to you because I'm a programmer, I'm a developer. I know this is my data. A data is attributes of an entity. Here my entity is creating this application of sign up page. And when I want to create this sign up page, I need attributes which are talking about this, and I need data of this which are of the raw facts. So this is what I'll speak about. What is data? Am I clear? Let me pause for a while. So am I clear what is data? Quickly, please show the responses. Fine. So this is the first step we need to know. Now, and somebody asks you, you may more elaborate this example. I have a scenario of creating a sign up page. In the sign up page, I need an attribute values which need some raw facts. That raw facts is my data. So this is first example I want to say. Now, next immediately comes into our mind, what is database? Am I correct? Whenever I'm learning something, immediately next question is, I want to know about a database. Okay, let me say, how can I explain this database? Let's take an example. When I have a database, DBMS, database management system, there is a theoretical definition which I learned. But now what my database definition is talking me is, so now if I have a database like this, we have different databases. Let's take an example. From these databases, I need a database management system which is interacting with different applications, different users, different like applications through API. Can someone quickly text in the chat window? What is API? I just would like to see the responses. Let me check. You need to be interactive. Yeah, Shravani, sure. Why to learn SQL in masterclass we learn, but of course I'll tell you. Application programming interface. So, correct. Now, if you see in the previous example, we tried about a entity. So that is my entity is a sign up page. And in the sign up page, we need the raw facts that are the data, right? Now, this sign up page might be used by different application is having different sign up pages. Now, I need an application programming interface, which is nothing but a software, which interacts with my database management system to retrieve these raw facts, which are useful for that application. So this is what I can simply say my database management system, DBMS. So once again, I'm repeating, we have different databases. Among the databases, I need a mechanism, which I am calling it as database management system, where it helps me to retrieve data, that is the raw facts, which are available in an entity. But how can I access those? Using an application programming interface. It might be a software. Okay. So which can be used by different applications, different users. So this is what my DBM is. Am I clear, my dears? Please respond quickly. Yes, Madhu. It's a software used for 2 or more applications to communicate. Yes, Banu. 100% correct answer. Very good. So now we understand what is data and we understand what is database and all. Now immediately comes into my mind, you talked about a DBMS and all. Now, why this is DBMS? What is this DBMS and all? So whenever I'm talking about a database management system, here first comes is DBMS. So what this DBMS is helping? It is helping me to define, record, query. I want to update and manage data. So my DBMS will do all these functionalities. It will define, record, query, update, manage data. So whenever this DBMS, it might be using by different applications. So my DBMS is accessing by different applications. Sometimes other DBMSs also, like other databases also may require data. And not only this, most of the time individual users also. So when I have a DBMS, it defines, records, query, update, manage data. And these are all the different applications, other users and other DBMSs. They need a storage area because this data need to be storage. So we need a storage area. Here comes for the storage area. We have different types of databases. Like one I can say RDBMS, Relational Database Management System, or we have sometimes hierarchical databases, or it may be sometimes like flat files, or sometimes it might be like objects databases. So different database types of databases. This is all together I can call it as a database management system. So this is what my DBMS. So my DBMS is all talking about the data to define, record, query, update and manage, which is managed by a storage area like in different types like RDBMS, hierarchical, flat files, objects and all, which are to be in turn used by the different applications, other DBMSs and different users. So this is all about my DBMS, database management system. Am I clear, my dears? These are the basic details. Technically, you need to talk whenever you are presenting in your interviews. Most of the time, try to speak the keywords. I always use it to see students, they're very good in technical knowledge, but when it comes to the presentation, they will be missing talking about the technical words. That 100% defines your package. Please remember this. With all our experience, we are saying this. So now we know very clearly a best example for data. We understand what is DBMS. We understand a database management system where we have different types of storage areas like RDBMS and all. So now let's go very quickly to SQL. What comes into picture? SQL. Somebody in the chat window has texted me why I need to learn SQL and all. Right? So yes, of course, you have a DBMS where you define, record, query, update, manage and data. But can you retrieve the data from them? So there comes into picture a mechanism which is required for communicating with my databases. Either I might be using an object-oriented database or the flat files or hierarchical or RDBMS. I least bother any type of it. But now my question is, how can I access the database? That is, how can I communicate with the database? So in order to communicate with the database, there comes an importance of SQL, which already we call it as structured query language. Okay, so now simply I can say my SQL is a standard language. My SQL is a standard language using to communicate with databases. So this is what I need a language to communicate with my database. I understand there is different data raw facts. We understand there is database management system. We understand different database management mechanisms for storage area are there, but I need a language, a standard language, which can communicate with this database. Let's take a scenario. One scenario. Imagine we are managing a online retail shop, an online retail store. We are managing a online retail store. Now, your database holds all information about the customers, and your database has data about orders, and it is having information about products and inventory. Now, when I'm talking about an online retail store, most of the time I need information of who all are my customers, what all are the orders processed, what all are the products available, what is the inventory management and all. Right? Now, I have a database, that's very fine. I'm using RDBMS, okay, relational database management system. But how can I retrieve among this database hundreds of tables and thousands of records available? I want to have a mechanism quickly retrieve some information. Now, among these, I just want list of customers. So list of customers who haven't made a purchase in last 6 months. A purchase in last 6 months. So my general manager having a review meet. In the review meet, he quickly asked me, assume this retail store is not in one single location, which is spread across globally. Let's take an example immediately to understand geo or something, where globally it is, let's take in India also in different areas it is established, right? Now, your manager has asked you to retrieve a data list of customer who haven't made a purchase in the last 6 months. And not only that, or he simply asked you to generate a sales report in the last quarter. So is it possible to us to go through the tables and calculate, and Excel can do that work? Yes, Excel can do that work, but it will take a lot of time. Here comes the structured query language, which is a standard language, helps us to retrieve this information. So what I'm going to learn in these sessions, we are learning how can I make an accurate query with the keywords, necessary syntaxes, which retrieves a fast, quick, and accurate information tool. Right? So this is my SQL. Am I clear, my dears? My voice is not audible. Okay, let me increase the volume. Is it the same for everyone? Can you please confirm? Is it the same for everyone? Shravani, am I not audible properly? Is there any technical glitches? Okay. Sometimes. Fine. I'll make sure I'm sitting in, let's give 1 second time. I will change the phone headphones.
No, ma'am, audio is giving no issues.
Okay, fine. Background issues and all. Actually, I'm in a very lone
Yeah,
area. Can you please recheck your internet connectivity, Banu,
internet connect.
Shahid and all? Can you please check the network speed of yours, because it is not the problem with others? Fine. Okay, Akash. So this is, my dears, what are the basic fundamental we required for before going actually into the structured query language. Yes, Sheikh Fahima, you given that SQL is the communication channel for data transfer. I'm sorry if I'm wrong. No, it is not at all wrong. Of course, it is a channel or a medium or a language which help us to communicate with your database. So, what are the concepts we discuss in 30-hour session? Share in the Telegram channel. I think already we have shared the list, topics list. But of course, in the Telegram channel, we will communicate you, Shruti. Don't worry. Day by day session. what all are hour by hour. It is not day by day because our session is like online sessions, 1.5 hours scheduled, right? So we will be sharing with you the 30 hours plan. Any more doubts? Let's start very quickly. Now, we understand what is data and all, and then we understand what is DBMS, and then we clearly understand, one second, we clearly understand what is SQL, why we are writing SQL and all. Let's start very quickly into our real-time scenario, how to deal with this structured query language. As I said, fourth year students, please give some time to us. Might be, yeah, I'm not sharing anything right now. I'll be sharing soon. Okay. So now fourth year students for the 1-2 sessions, initially 1 or 2 sessions, please help us. Okay, please bear because you might be very good in fundamentals and all, but let us go through very slowly. Okay, for the first 1 or 2 sessions. Fine. Now let's start our SQL. Before talking about SQL, I'm going to share my screen once again. So before starting our SQL, actually, let me see somebody is missing. Okay, fine. Now we are talking about the Relational Database Management System, RDBMS. RDBMS. Few things we need to know before actually going into uh, actual concepts. Now, you know, in the SQL DBMS, the data is stored in the form of a table. Yes, 100% you know this. A table is a, if I say like a definition, it is a logical organization of data which consists of columns and rows. So this is the general information we know, right? I think it is not required to me to tell you something about a row, what is column and all. But let me take a quick example. Don't mind every example I'm discussing. I can show you in during the classes how it will be useful to attempt a technical round 1 questions also. Every point what I am discussing is valid points. So now if you say I have a quickly one example employee table where it is having one employee ID, we have employee name. These are the attributes of my raw facts. And of course, I have case salary constraint. Right. Now I have record number 1, record number 2, record number 3. Here, when I talk about this employee table, here my employee is the entity. When I'm talking about this entity is having an attribute called employee ID, an attribute called employee name, an attribute called salary. Right. Now, before going into this, we have certain rules to define for the RDBMS. And you may get it out who designed this. It will be called as sometimes EF code. He is the person who defined. Right. Now, the first thing is that the first rule is, excuse me, very sorry. The data entered into a cell must always be a single valued data. The first rule is while you are creating a table or a database, in your database, it might be having different tables. A table may have single valued data. This is the first rule. Let's take an example. I'm talking about two. Suppose two is Mr. Ellen. Mr. Ellen phone number or something like a salary. I mentioned like this. Is it valid? No, absolutely not valid. Because the first rule to work with RDBMS is data entered in a cell must always be single value. For example, it's not salary. Let me take about like a phone number. If I'm talking this as a phone number. Now I may not accept this column. Instead of this, I may show like one more column which can be described alternate phone number. I may not enter double values in the same column. So I will be taking 103 or something. So this is one rule, first rule. And then second rule is always when you can store the data in multiple table, and we need to establish a connection between the tables with key attributes. So this is the second thing we need to learn. When data is stored in multiple tables, we need to establish a relation always with the key attributes. And the third important thing in RDBMS, we are storing everything in the form of tables, even metadata also. So may I know what is metadata? Can someone quickly show me in the chat window? What is metadata? Yes, data about a data, raw data. Okay, fine. Yes, all your definitions are accurate, but let me explain. Let's take an example. In the table itself, so in this table itself, I have one more column because it is about employees. When HR wants to maintain this data, there is a column called photo. My database is having a record of information about photo also. Now, when I talk about this photo is a data of data. Somebody given. Absolutely correct. I can say when I take about a photo, this photo is also having a data which is talking about image name. It is having image size. It is having image resolution. It is having image format, right? These are all the properties and attributes of this photo. So this photo is also having a data. Now I call this as metadata. So my RDBMS can hold metadata also in the form of table. But where can I get that table? In the form of meta table. Because in DBMS, we can show everything like a table only, where it is taking image name, image size, image resolution, image format, something. So where you will be maintaining some table for that also. Is it clear, my dears? Because without discussing this RDBMS, if I say queries, it's just a syntaxes only. Am I clear? So the first rule is our data should be having single value data. You can be communicating with the key attributes. It should be having a metadata also. And the fourth rule is the data entered into the table can be validated in two steps, either by assigning data types, or by assigning constraints. So while you are going to learn about SQL, in RDBMS, there is a rule that the data entered in the table can be validated in two ways, either by assigning a proper data type to it or by assigning proper constraints to it. Am I clear? So far, whatever I discussed, am I clear? We are moving into actual learning. Yes. Okay. So now let's say I told you one rule that data entered into that table should be validated. Okay, fine. Now the first thing I told, I can be validating this using something like data types. Ma'am, I have a doubt. What all are the data types SQL is going to support? Because without knowing this, you may not able to write the queries. Can someone please tell me, are you able to see my screen notepad I'm sharing? quick responses, please. Yeah, fine. Very fine. So now the fourth rule we are talking about data types. When I'm talking about data types, of course, we know the definition. The data types is used to specify or determine the data, which type of data we are storing in a particular memory location. So now what are the types of data types SQL is supporting for us? So first thing, it is having char data type, and we have varchar, or we have varchar2, and it is taking like date and number, and sometimes if it is large objects, it is taking like a character large object, or it might be binary large object. So don't worry, while learning practically, we will be seeing each and everything. Okay. And first important thing is SQL is not a case sensitive language. It is not a case sensitive language. Now you may get a doubt. What are the data type char it is taking? In character, yes, you can store as usual A to Z, capital letter A to Z. Ma, here are few students from second year. So please, I'm going through fundamentals also. So we have, it will be taking A to Z small letters, and it is accepting 0 to 9 digits, and of course, special characters. Don't worry, this information notes I'll share with you through Telegram channel. I can send you whatever each and every point I'm discussing here. I'll be sharing the document to you. Okay. So these are the char types which is taking. And now there will be some rules when I'm talking about it. Character must always be enclosed within single quotations. The first rule is when you are defining the data type char, so the characters must always be enclosed within single quotations. So these all are the rules which we need to follow while working with SQL. And not only this, whenever we use character data type, we must mention the size. This is another rule. Whenever we use char data type, please remember we must mention size. So now you may get it down. What is this size? How can I define this size? Now here size is nothing but use it to specify number of characters it can store. And is there any maximum limit? Yes, it is having a maximum limit. When you are using it will be taking like 2000 characters. So can you show me the syntax? Yes, I can write like this. Whenever you are defining the data type char, you need to follow the syntax like this. Char followed by its size. Right? Now let's take an example. I'm saying char of 8. What is the meaning of it? Ma'am, I wrote the syntax, defined the data type char, and you told me to follow it with a size. I given char of 8. What is the meaning of it? Okay, let me quickly explain. So whenever I define my syntax like char of 8, the meaning is it is allocating dynamic memory, memory allocation, which is with 8 bytes of space, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now here I took the data for this as QSR. I defined a data type as char, and I mentioned the size as 8. The meaning is this is total can hold 8 characters. This is the used memory, and of course, it is having unused memory also available. So while defining, you allocated 8 bits of size, but you used only 3 characters into it. And still we have remaining memory, which is like a wastage, which can hold like 8 characters. So this is the meaning. Do you understand now what happened when I define char of 8? In the background, it allocates a total memory for 8 characters. And if you take input of for that as only 3 characters, this is the used memory and remaining is the unused memory. Am I clear, my dears? Can you please quickly confirm in the chat window? Yes, Gayatri. Yes, space. Fine. Okay. So, I just would like to define each and every data type very clearly. Now, first one is char. This is done. Whenever I'm talking about a char, it is always enclosed with a single quotations. And of course, it is taking a size. This is very clear. Now, I'm going very quickly. Second one is about a varchar. So, what is this varchar? Varchar is nothing but a data type. Here also you can store data like A to Z and of course small letters A to Z, and then it is also taking 0 to 9 and like special characters as I mentioned above, like special characters like taking dollar, ampersand, at the rate, like so on. Okay. Now, what are the rules for this? Here also the rule is that characters must always be enclosed with single quotations. Whenever we use char data type, you should need to mention the size of it. Same rule. And whenever I'm taking about a size, it is also specifies how many characters it can hold. Now, varchar, what is the specialty about varchar is varchar follows variable length memory allocation. So how can I write the syntax? The syntax is varchar followed by size. Right? So now, what is the difference? I don't understand. You told char also same, varchar also same. It is also taking something like now when I'm taking about a variable length, what happened here? Let's see. Yes, previously I given char. Now I'm giving it as varchar, varchar 8. Yes, of course, it also allocates memory for 8 characters. And I have used only 3 characters. This is the memory used. And previous example I told memory is wasted. But now this unused memory is not wasted, but is a free space wherever you can use as per the variable length you are taking. So that is the only difference. Varchar is there. Where is varchar taking 2000 characters? And when I'm defining like is a varchar 2, it will be taking like 4000 characters. That is the only difference for var and varchar. Okay. Am I clear? Am I clear, my dears? Okay. Can I see it quickly? Yeah, fine. No. I would like to discuss more and more fundamentals while explaining everything within the examples I'll be taking. So in order to make our session more interactive, I just would like to teach you the basic queries also with a real-time example. Okay. That example also I'll share with you. Now let's take everything, whatever I'm teaching. 1 second. Here I'm giving a scenario to you. The scenario is that we are developing, let's assume, because I want to drive you through application based only. Imagine you all are developing a database for a library management system. So this is our task. So when I'm talking about a library management, the library needs to manage information about its books, members, something like borrow records, where sometimes books to be borrowed, and sometimes about staff details also. Okay. Now we will go through like an assignment itself. Our task is that we are going to develop a database for a library management system. So the first foremost thing is we want to create a tables for this application requirement. So your application is demanding library management system database. So first we will decide what all are the tables described, defined for this, needed for this database. So the first table, what I can talk about. So I need a table which can be stores information about the library members. So I'm analyzing. See, I have a scenario, a real-time scenario is that we want to develop a database for a library management. The first step is we know that in DBMS, data should be represented in the tables format only. Before defining the tables, I am analyzing what all are the tables I require for this. So the first table I want to design for this is members table. What is this members table? So when I'm talking about this table, it stores information. It is not always writing a query directory. 50% of your work is analyzing the requirements. What all of the things you need? Okay. Information about the library members who can borrow books. So this is my application requirement first time. So now here I want to learn what is the SQL code for this. Okay. So now I understand I want to create a table. The first table what I decided is members table. In this members table, I want to define using a SQL. How can I write? There is a syntax. You can start with a keyword called create table followed by your table name. Here my table name is member, open parenthesis. Always make it sure all the attributes should be in the parenthesis. Now, what all are the items I want, attributes I want? So, whenever I'm talking about a details about a member, first there should be a member ID. So, this is one attribute I want. Whenever I'm talking about attribute member ID, it might be a number. So we need to define the data type because in the previous example, we clearly understand in RDBMS how you are validating the tables. We understand tables should be validated either by data types or by constraints. So now when I talk about my first attribute member ID, it might be an integer. Now I mentioned it as a primary key. Ma'am, I don't know what is this primary key. Don't worry. We will be moving through this. I'll explain you what is this also. And whenever we are talking about a member, he should be having a name. And I don't want to waste the memory. So now in the previous example, I understand I have a data type of varchar. So assuming name might be having 100 characters because I don't want to waste the memory allocated for this. And whenever I'm talking about a member for communication, I need an attribute called email. Whenever I'm defining an email, it is having data type like varchar. You may get it out, ma'am. Can I take varchar 2? Yes, you can take. I clearly told when you are taking data type as varchar 2, it may hold 4,000 characters, right? Right now, I don't require that much of space. So one more attribute I want to take is phone number. So phone number is also I'm taking varchar type, where assuming maximum numbers required is 50. Ma'am, what will happen if I give it as 100? Nothing happen. Isn't? No, it will happen. Why you unnecessarily allocate memory? If it is allocating lot of memory, if it is okay, you are working with 1,000 records, that's fine. Let's assume an application which is having 50,000 of users or 1 lakh of users. Whenever you are retrieving the retrieving data backend can be need to store all the memory of it, right? So why should you waste the memory? So that is the reason we required proper data type and proper size to be allocated. Being an application developer, you won't see much difference when you allocate 100, 2,000 or something. But sure, when it is working with a complete application like web pages, complete web application and server side programs, it will be taking on time complexity. So make it sure appropriate data size is allocated. And of course, when I'm talking about a member, I would like to know when he joined. So it is of date type. So this is what the raw data talking about the real facts of attributes like member ID, name, email, phone number, join date. So this is the syntax for creating a table in your SQL. Ma'am, what is new in this? In academics, I learn already. So I know creating table syntax and all. My dear students, with all our experience, we are reiterating 90% students will know the syntax, but data analysis is very important. When a scenario like given to you like a library management, your skills is not only writing the query, first defining what all are the tables required for that, what is the relationship I need to establish between them. Whenever I'm storing a database, what kind of attributes I need for that. This rough work is very, very important. Without knowing these facts and without having proper relation between your tables, query results may not give you accurate details. Understand? Most of the time in the academics, what we will give you examples, either I make a school management, library management, e-commerce portal, 4 to 5 applications. But let's assume you are doing your own application. Suppose you want to develop a restaurant app or something, or you want to make a like a online something like a doctors helping management, something you are designing. When you are designing, you should be able to understand what your database is required. So then you need to be analyze what all are the tables you required, what all are the columns you required for that. Am I clear? My intention is clear. Are you understanding why I am reiterating again and again? Students, please confirm. Quickly respond. I can see only 4 to 5 members are responding very quickly. My dears, please make this session very interactive. The more you interact with me, the more I'll be helpful to you. Yes. So this is what the first step today we learn, creating a table using SQL. So my dears, today it is instructed to go for the class for 1 hour only. Next schedules we will be taking 1.5 hours. Okay. So Uday, are you here? Someone from Blackbucks? Are you aware? Student management system. In the student management system, there is a table called student info. In the student info, there is an attribute called branch. So generally in BTech branch, you may say CSE, ECE, something like that. So where you know maximum characters required for the specific length is not more than 5 characters, right? So if it is not more than 5 characters, yes, you can go instead of varchar, you can go for char because it is a fixed length and the storage is always defined on the amount of space, not on the length, right? Suppose if you say char 10, it always occupies 10 bytes. Even though you need only 5 character space, it always takes 10 character space, right? So if you know your data is required a fixed length, prefer char type. Hope I am clear with your doubt. Any more? Only performance issues. When you are taking varchar and all, space efficiency will be very good in varchar. It's all depend on your data which you are taking. Okay. Whether you want to define fixed length or you want variable length. That's it. So that's all for the day, my dears. Today I just quickly recap what we learned today. We started with understanding, technically explain what is a data, raw data, entity, and attributes. And then we understand how it is important for the database to interact with the different applications and users through APIs. And then we realized to manage these databases, we have different types of database management systems. And one we prefer is the relational database management systems where there is a relation between the tables. And then we understand we need a language to communicate with the database that comes into picture of SQL. And then we analyze a real-time scenario where we are taking like online library management, started with the online library management. And in that, we understand RDBMS is having one specific rule that data can be validated with the data types or with the constraints. In that first point, we started with the data types. We just make a note of different data types that we can be used in this SQL. And we discuss char, varchar, and varchar2. And we done the first step, creating a table by analyzing the requirements. Okay. So don't worry. Here somebody is asking, Uday, can you please confirm, are we going to share the recorded sessions? Sessions are recording. Can the students get the recording sessions if they want to recollect? Please confirm from Blackbucks, someone. Are there any portal we are giving accessing to them? Okay, don't worry, my dear students. We have the Telegram channel. We will update you if it is not yet. And of course, this material, whatever I spoke during this class, I'll be sharing a document with you with all the examples, whatever I discussed. In that Telegram channel, I'll post it. Any more doubts? Any exercise or assignment that also will be posted in the Telegram channel? SQL material given. Who given? Ratnam Kiran Kumar? Who given the material to you, or you are asking me whether I am giving or not? I don't understand. Are you asking me to share? Yeah, sure, I'll be sharing. Once the class is done, I'll be communicating with you all in the Telegram channel. Whenever you have doubts, whatever you have, we will communicate in the Telegram channel. Right? So this is only the intro class we started. Next session we will be doing complete. Yeah. Can someone repost in the Telegram channel? 1 second. Let me repost. It is on the top of it. And we request you attendance sheet. Please fill it. It will be taking only 1 minute, not even less than 1 minute. Uday, can you please help us to paste the Telegram channel link once again here? And as I said, my dear students, for the next class onwards, make it sure you'll be coming with a notes also. Somebody, Meenakshi, is asking me, college is conducting a technical test on programming language. That's why I have to leave this session. Okay, fine. Okay. Only one thing, my dears, I'll be saying you is make it sure everyone regular for this 30 hours class. Don't miss even one class. From my end, the promise I can give you is we will make you expert in application oriented. But if you are regular and if you are doing enough practice for what all of the learnings you've done, sure, it will be very fruitful. Okay. Yeah, the link is posted. So that's all for the day. Through communication channel, we communicating you when will be the next class and all. And soon you can expect some exercises also. Everyday session, evening session. Akash, exact schedules we will get back to you very soon because we are emerging few more students into the batch. Very soon we will make you sure what all are the classes. In advance itself, we will let you know when will be the sessions and how many hours it will be. Everything we will communicate. But of course, this will be evening only. Mostly the time is same, 7 to 8:30. The time you can fix it. I think no, we don't have Saturday, Sunday classes, Madhusudan. We will communicate you weekly how many classes. Okay. I mean, electronics and communication, 100%. 100% Sheikh Fahina. What is the document I am sharing you? You need a little more efforts. If CSE background students may do one exercise, you need to practice 5 exercises. I'll be helping you. Don't worry. What all are the assignments I am giving? What all are the exercises I am giving? Do hands on. Sure, you can do it. My registration number means your college roll number. In the sheet, they are asking you something registration number. Don't worry about that. That is just your college roll number. Okay, so that's all for the day. We will get back you. Let's communicate in the Telegram channel. What all are the doubts you have? Just give me sometime. Mostly by tomorrow morning, first hour, I'll be sending the document or PDF, whatever you're asking me about the class. Okay. Hope you enjoyed the session. Can I see quick responses or reactions? Yeah, thank you, Likita. Finna, Shahid, thank you. Okay, great. That's all for the day. Good day. We will meet you very soon with a complete practical. Get ready. There will be assignment and homework. I will be making you painful sharpenings, my dear. But this is only to make you perfect in the sessions. Okay. Good night. Thank you so much, everyone. That's all for the day.